Alright, so Area 2. Greenwood. To get there first we need to warp there, so we're going to talk to that center tile and select move. Here's the world map, just hold down and B, then there we go. Just leave that center area. And now we are there, and let's get that to the right place up top on that page. Alright, so let's go down south and east and get out of here. And this section, if you're having trouble, I'd probably just go to Area 1 and get an herb just to bring along with you. So it can be a little difficult. We're going to be walking past those two enemies and slashing that. I'm going to re-equip that iron armor. So if I have it, yeah, let's use it. And slash these enemies. And if you want to have more gems at this point, you can also, instead of death warping at the beginning of Area 1, you can also just use that shortcut we unlocked. So here's a trick you can do if you want. You just defeat these with north fireballs. I like to wait until the branches they shoot out come back, and then you're able to hit them. It takes some practice, but it's up to you if you want to do it. It's only about 10 or 15 seconds of savings, which doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're really competitive, it is. But for now, don't worry about it. Just defeating the shrubbers. I'm getting to the point where I'm probably going to have to look up the names of these enemies a little bit more. These names are taken from a mix of TerraEarth.com and Strategy Wiki for the enemy names there. So that was Lost Side over there, and just getting this open for myself. Okay, so then we go into the water shrine. First area, very simple. Just walk down these steps. Next section, come up here. I like to sit behind this here, and you'll notice the enemies just move all there. Nice and neat for you. You can just slash them when they're done, or hit them when they're moving towards you there. Just walk past that shrubber and then go south, and go west, and then I'm just going to weave my way through these and get that herb, because I definitely want that for later. And then I'm going to swing my sword to defeat these mud pits. And step on this layer. You can defeat the other one if you want more experience, but it's not too necessary right now. Then going on from there, we'll go down the steps. And then we're in floor 3 of the basement. And if you want, you can kind of notice when I'm moving along this column, the enemies aren't attacking me. But if I'm on that side, then they start attacking. So they're moving towards me. So again, they kind of have that glitch to them where if you're on the left or up top, they're not going to go towards you. See? So defeat these. Probably use sword swings on them. It takes about 3 fireballs to defeat them because they have more than 10 hit points. Each fireball does 5 hit points of damage for each hit of it. Got these shrubbers, that looks kind of rough, so let's soften it up with a little bit of east fireballs here. And if you're starting to run low, you just go in there and swing your sword. With that iron armor, you do have some damage reduction to help you. Just note that you'll always take at least 1 damage from an enemy. Even if you have really, really high defense, you're always going to take at least 1 damage. Releasing more of these things as we go. And here's our another safety spot here. Get this strange bottle. I personally use it during my runs for a strat later on in Area 3, but it has some other potential for that too, for different safety strat there. Just to make sure you have enough gems for a certain spot, so definitely a good one to get. Oh yeah, don't need to defeat that. So this is the one we need to defeat. So we got 2 of these here. They teleport, and if you slash at them, then they'll stun them. But poking them lets them keep going. So we want to slash at these enemies. There we go, last demon statue there. Get this other layer here, and I'll release that mole, which we'll need for later. and just walk the rest of the way out of this floor. I will adjust this accordingly. This next section, pretty simple. Just walk to the right and walk up. And then walk up and out. So there's the water shrine. Next, the fire shrine. If you feel that you need to, you can go over here. Like if you're low on health or whatever else, you can come back, clear it or whatever, and then get what you need. So consider that a safety, but usually we save that for later. Next will be these shrubbers. There's 8 of them, one at a time that they go. And they usually face right and just do swings like that, trying to avoid them. You can step over here if you want to avoid those as well. You can also defeat them from down below. Use spells as well to soften them up. It's up to you. There we go. Now we're into the fire shrine. So let's get that updated. Now notice there's these metal scorpions. We're not going to be able to do much about them since they're metal. So one place you can step is face north, just to the left, just to the west of this lizard shrine. And you'll notice there's that enemy up there. If I hold left and move the magician soul, I'm going to hold it and then just shoot 3 fireballs. And then the lair explodes up there. So it's a good safe way to do that if you want. There's other strats as well, but we'll explore that in other videos. So down here, that chest has literally nothing inside. First off, we'll defeat the enemies in this lair, these lizard men. And then, after that, the safety part is us going up here and defeating these as they come over. Notice this is a nice little spot I can attack the enemies without doing any damage and from either them or the metal scorpion coming across. Here we release a squirrel along with that tree stump there. That tree stump is the important part of it. And I'm just going to walk through that. You can also wait if you want or walk around. The next layer we need are these shadow lizards. Or shadow lizard men. I'll just call them lizards. Shadow lizards. Now, you can be fancy like this or just wait for them a little bit. The big key is anytime they teleport, they're going to be invincible. You cannot hit them until they phase in. They become material. So you can either I'd say take your time with them. You want to conserve health a little bit. Though we'd still have that herb, you want to keep that herb. Here you can move up, let that enemy pass, or take the long way around. Either way, we need to go to this next floor. So this next spot here, I'm going to take it safe. There is a safer spot to go with, but if you're really fast, you can go right away. That's just if you don't bump into anything. But since I want to show this here, you can just wait for that to cool and then walk across at that point. Here you can either wait if you're low on health, you can just walk across and step on these convenient little spots just to save health if you need to. And then we go over to this layer. And again, trying to get gems. Gems are important because they allow us to cast spells. And we're going to be getting here from that gem down below the spell we're going to use primarily for the rest of the game called Light Arrows, which is really, really good. But it costs 8 gems per cast, so we want to make sure we have as much gems for it as possible. Especially since it does 10 damage per hit, and some of these enemies really get defeated quickly with it. So I'm going to use that on that one. If you want, you can try defeating those with that as well, or you can just keep using sword swings. Either way is completely fine. Right now at level 5, it's probably going to be fastest just to defeat those with light arrows. There is a strat that does involve some multitasking, but it's up to you if you want to use it. I'm just going to wait here We have that herb, so we can use that to go across a little bit faster. But it's up to your comfort level how if you want to wait or just go right across. So you can either do that or swing your sword. Notice you hit the metal scorpions; they're not going to do so much. But remember, you can kind of walk around. The enemies will keep their damage as you damage them. At least until you release an NPC or screen transition. So now you saw that herb got used. I'm going to go to the left here and grab this chest, which has 100 gems. I put it down as a safety strat, but you can technically skip it, but I like using it in my normal runs because 100 gems for that short a time, it's about 5 seconds to get it. It's probably the fastest you'll ever get gems in this game for that. So helps for setups later. So let's go across here, defeat these enemies. And you'll notice when I was over there, I was up top there on the right side. That's a good place to sit if you're waiting for the enemies, since they'll keep spawning when you're up there, and it's safe. The big key is just defeat them all as quick as you can. So now we release this bird and we'll keep going. It's a good time to talk about those layers. There are some layers in this game, if you play it casually, you know that some of them, the enemies just spawn at a consistent rate like those ones up there did. Otherwise, there's some that spawn at an interval of time, like somewhere like 5 seconds they'll spawn. You defeat the enemy, wait for that 5 seconds, then the next one will, and so on and so forth. And then there's some where some enemies are all on the screen at the same time. So, now you know. So let's open up the shortcut we cleared earlier, and then we will exit south on the first floor. Again, dented, make sure we're going through with on the guide. So, I just like to walk through the enemies here, just get here quicker. And there we go. Done with the fire shrine. Now, since we're here, let's equip that dream rod. And we gotta talk to this gator first. Don't want to hurt him, but if you move back and forth quite a bit really quick, yeah, be nice to the gator. Don't be a dented. So let's talk to this bird who is sleeping. Excuse me. And let's step on the lair to seal it and talk to this dog, Turbo. One of the great figures of this place. Used to be the protector of Greenwood. But when the Great Calamity happened, he was defeated. And let's go down to this basement here. And a good safety here, you can talk to this mole. This mole will let you be able to see in the basement, as we discussed earlier on, when you released him. He just has a lot to say, which is why we normally skip it. But if but when you do skip it, though, you don't get to see the basement, so that's why it's a safety, to help you get familiar with the basement. You'll see what I'm talking about when we get there. Let's get those dog bones. Just need to move on top of them and get them. So now the safety strat for the ice armor, which is why we unlocked those 2 layers as we went through the fire shrine. So first off, or the water and the fire shrine. Let's talk to the stump with the dream rod. Unlock that area by going to the right there. It's kind of confusing because the path is hidden behind that big tree, but now you know. Let's go down here, all the way through. And this does cost some time because of the extra fighting and the moving all around to get this. But if you are playing this game, speedrunning this for the first time, I highly recommend going for the ice armor for success. If you end up messing up Area 5 somehow, if you die at a very terrible point, then you probably have to come back here and get it anyway. So let's get familiar with the run, get familiar with the route, grab the ice armor. Plus it gives us some defense right away too to go with. So continuing on, we got that part, just going through all that. Back to Lost Side Marsh, we are going to go on to the Light Shrine. Notice we got the Greenwood leaves earlier. we do not need to equip those in order to use those. We just need to have them. So when we talk to this raft that can somehow talk, and it says, hey, we have those leaves. So nice little convenience by the developers there. Thanks, Quintet. So going around further, go up to this spot. If you want a little more experience, you can go on that raft to go west to go there, but we're going to ignore that. This spot here, I'm going to touch this beam wall. Those will not hurt you. You can use the light arrows really to have some neat, showy things happen. The big key is touching that wall there, going up here, and trying to get all these enemies together at once. And you don't have to do it this way, you can take them on separately. But this tends to be kind of the faster way of it. Or as some people call it, the target practice. But really shows off the power of the light arrows, since usually each one does 2 hits, which is about 20 damage each, and majority of the enemies in this game have that much damage. Now you notice I used it on that first one there. That's because the spirit enemy was right in front of that, and it does not do, it does some pretty rough damage, and I don't want to get hit by that, so. So defeat these 6 lizards, and then go over and keep going down. Now if we cleared all those, just go right to there against those fire enemies. Now what you can do is, again, use those and come up here to the top left. There is an advanced strategy called the 6-step square dance, or however you want to put it, that helps spawn those enemies up top, right? Top left there, but since we're just getting our first run through, let's go with just something more consistent. So just wanting to clear this layer, and go on here. Now, there's a lot of these, so we can use light arrows if we want. And his timing may not be the best, so sword swings help a little bit too. And there we go. We have these. We must have defeated those fire enemies down below as well. So those ghosts we lured earlier near the front were for this layer, so we sealed it. Let's go down to the basement. And was that a busy section? Yeah, you can see right in the guide there. Lots of numbers. So next is the basement. And since we have that helper shrine from that helper soul from that mole earlier, we have this ball. We have our own little torch. So thanks, Magician Soul, for being so nice. So first, we'll defeat these shadow lizards. You can use spells if you want. One nice way to keep track of how many enemies there are is you'll see, if you got here pretty quick, then that ghost bounces around the time that you're defeating the last one. We can skip these layers and continue to go down. Making sure where I'm at. Okay. And then go west here. And we just want to defeat these enemies. I like to face from the west, or face east on the west side, or facing right on the left. And just get these enemies defeated for experience and gems. A little bit more to it if we were doing the advanced strats, but again, we're just keeping things nice and happy. Now, if you want, you can come up here and save. Probably a good time to do it if you have a lot of gems, especially since the next boss is a bit of a jump in difficulty. So we're going to do that just to kind of help with this tutorial also. But it helps when you go down the right spot there. So let's keep going to the left. And we'll use a little bit of fireballs there and go on that part there. And you can hit those ghosts with sword swings as well if you want. Just those light spirits there. Can't do much. Now, a nice thing with this ball of light, you can see here that there's these little alcoves there. If you're going in the dark and you're like, okay, I get to here, then 1, 2, and I go too far, then it's like, oh, how do I get out of it? You just need to back up and go. Same on the other side. So But next, let's go to the Stone Lion Heads, which are the boss of this one. Now, the strat I put is very much a particular one. I do intend to add some more general safe strats to it, so that's what we're going to go with at this point. This first one, you can come up here. I usually hold my sword to the west and go this way. Just notice that this boss kind of goes and kind of attack easier. It just stops. It gives you a good opportunity to do that. This one here, I like to get to a spot and then you can just kind of swing to the right. So it's just kind of diagonally a little. And then over here, comes down, stay down here a little bit, and then I come up and then swing my sword. And this boss is just going to go around this area. It's not going to hit me. I'll just keep facing right. Now notice I'm on the top tile here. Not the bottom tile, the top one. Because the fire likes to go a little bit further the other way. If you wanted to, you can have that herb from Area 1 equipped to help out, but I played it risky since that's how I go. Once you're done, go to the lair that's on the northwest section, all the way over there, and seal it. Then we got the Woods Guardian. Go back to our guide. Then we will exit south. And then go west and south again. Just making our way out of here. Now, let's go over here and go right to there. And talk to the Woods Guardian, which fortunately is just right there. Very easy. So, it is a difficult area at first, so don't feel too discouraged if it's a pain. That's just how it goes sometimes. Perfectly natural on this, especially if you're going your first time. So, next section is going to be Area 3, and that will be a bit more complicated, but we'll get through it together. It's one of the longest areas. We'll see how that goes. Thanks.